Welcome back everyone. In our last video we looked at the definition of a vector. So vector is any quantity that is described that describes the magnitude and direction. Now there are several ways of representing a vector. You can represent a vector in words. For example, as 5 kilometers at an angle of 30 degrees. Now that same representation can be done in form of a diagram or geometric vector. So to do that, and this is probably the most common way of, or the most easiest way of representing a vector, and it is using a line. So a line with an arrow. Now the arrow represents the end point, and we've got the starting point. Now I said that it was a line that represents, or a vector, that represents 5 kilometers at an angle of 30 degrees. Okay, try to make a straighter line at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. So as we can see here, that this vector once again represents 5 kilometers at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. Now one key thing you do have to remember is that the length of the line represents its magnitude or size. So for example, if this length was to represent 5 kilometers, then this length could represent 10 kilometers. Now another way of representing vectors is by using symbols. Now symbols are more commonly used when doing algebra with vectors, but they're written as such. They're written as a compound of the start and end points. So for example, here we've got the starting point as A, and we've got the end point, which is denoted as a little arrow, as B. So the symbol to represent this vector would be AB with a small arrow on the top. Alternatively, sometimes instead of having a compound symbol, it could just have a letter. So for example, if this vector had the letter V representing it, then instead of using AB, we could also use V. So these are the three ways of representing a vector. Another thing that is there to note is that whenever there are two lines around the symbols, it represents the magnitude of a vector. So, for example, if this symbol right here, AB, if it had two lines around it, like such, then this would represent the magnitude of the vector, which in this case is 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. So these are the three ways of representing a vector. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and comment. Have a nice day.